Hello, this is Jon Miller, the creator of The Rest of Everest. I think I can safely say that this show is, without a doubt, the most in-depth look into the entire experience of what it takes to climb Everest, as well as some other peaks throughout the Himalayas. But all of the events in the series are shown in chronological order, so if you're new to the show, please go all the way back to episode 000 and watch everything in order. That's truly the best way to enjoy it. Thanks. Hi everyone, before we start this week's episode, I wanted to announce that the official DVD for our film, Everest the Other Side, is now available for sale. Amazing, right? I'm very proud of the DVD and it's beautiful. And it has a lot of bonus content. We're publishing the DVD ourselves, so we're opening the film up for pre-order so we can get an idea of just what the demand is, and so we can have enough copies manufactured. Interested? Just go to everesttheotherside.com to reserve your copy today. Thanks.
This is the Rest of Everest video podcast, an almost unabridged expedition experience. Episode 112, the end of the Annapurna IV expedition.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the Rest of Everest. I'm Jon Miller. This is going to be the last episode of the Annapurna IV expedition, and it's been a great run, and I always want to thank the two guys who made this all possible, and of course they're with me tonight, and so Ben Clark's on Skype from Telluride. How's it going?
Awesome, Jon.
I'm glad that you're feeling better. You've had strep throat or something the past week or so. I'm glad to hear you're doing better.
Yeah, thanks, man.
And coming via cell phone all the way from the East Coast is Josh Butson. How you doing, Josh?
I'm doing okay, Jon. Good to hear your voice again.
Josh is kind of doing some family stuff out back east where he grew up, and up in New Hampshire, as I remember. Right, Josh?
I'm just over the border in Vermont right now, spending the night over here for the evening.
But you grew up in some mountains, and obviously the Annapurna IV expedition was at the time probably one of the culmination of some of your mountaineering experience, and it's just always interesting to see how that all works out. And well, this week we're gonna close out the expedition, and I'm sorry to say that we have not been able to get Tim Clark in on these episodes for commentary, but Tim was a huge part of this expedition and has been a great partner to both Josh and Ben, and so we'll see a little bit more of Tim in this episode. But I'd say let's get up to the last part of the Annapurna circuit, and let's close out this expedition. Here we go.
Hello, chocolate.
Isn't that classic? Hello, chocolate. Hello, pen. Hello, chocolate. Hello, money. Hello, rupee. That's the way you get greeted often in Nepal.
Do you get a lot of these little jewelry stands on the Annapurna circuit? There certainly are a lot on the way on the trail to Everest.
Yes, they're in every town. Stuff to buy.
So where are we starting from this day? Or this episode? Whereabouts are we?
Coming out of Manang on our way to Yakarta.
Rupee? Yeah, I'd do this. Is it slowly looking?
This guy is good too.
Go to Tingri, then Mini.
He's from Tibet.
Oh, you had seen this guy the previous year. Yeah, there you go.
Last
He was
year,
hilarious.
My wife, she buys jewelry for me.
Okay. Good. Oh.
Very slowly looking.
Slowly looking. Oh.
What do you have here?
Yes.
You have Tibetan?
Yes. Tibetan something.
Nice.
Very good. Lama, Dorche, Dilpu. Nepali, no.
All right. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Guy was really friendly.
Yeah, he was pretty cool.
He's a character. Kim told me, and Ben told me about him before we came across him. So I've been looking for him on every turn during this trip, at where he was. Sure, he was there, slowly looking. Ben really wanted to get my camera up here.
Nice.
The view up this valley to the right actually is incredible, but it was cloudy on this day.
What do you look up at?
This huge face on Chulu, I think Chulu East. Yeah, this is just outside of Yakarta. There's a bunch of people camping in this field, and they're hunting a worm that turns into a fungus and apparently gives Japanese men erections.
Interesting. I think I got an email about that the other day.
You probably did. Yashigumba.
Coming to a storefront near you. It pays really well to pick it, and they have to get permits and licenses to be able to go and pick this. It's only around a certain time of the year, and we were passing through when it was in peak season. So these people really make a lot of money off picking this.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Does it only grow, or do they only, are they only found in that one area?
I guess they're in the high country. I mean, that's pretty much, it seems like they're all concentrated up in the hills at around, anywhere between 11 and 13,000 feet.
It's a nice suspension bridge. How many of these bridges do you come across on the circuit trek? Because this is, I think, one of the first ones we've seen.
Yeah, probably 10 or 12. I think there was one, there were there may have been one or two good shots of some on the way into Annapurna, and then on the way out of Annapurna before you see these.
They're just slightly different than the suspension bridge. A little ways down. You don't want to fall.
Probably cold, too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But it's going across it up here. There are railings on this one coming in.
So had you guys already gone over the was it 18,000 foot pass at this point?
No, we're on our way up there.
Okay, great.
Yeah, you go up this valley and then you hang a left.
Yeah, we spend the night at the base of it, and we go up and over. So right now we're the day prior to going over the pass.
Oh, I see. Okay. Oh, so then Ben just crossed that bridge. Now, this part of the circuit is still going to remain intact the way it has been. The road doesn't cover this part of it. The road that
No,
was
it
built.
doesn't.
Okay.
Yeah, the road will be to Manang.
So that's probably where the huge amount of tourist traffic will end, because the rest of it will all still be foot traffic.
Yeah, potentially. I mean, you could easily build a road in here if you wanted to.
I just know that in those early episodes you were saying how the road really was going to change the whole face of the area, and I can see why. It's just so beautiful that it's all, trail access only, foot access only. It's just really cool.
Yeah, it's a pretty amazing thing to just be able to go places and have to walk everywhere. And that's what I think that's what makes the Annapurna circuit really popular for people from all over the world, and that you can get out and hike from one place to another and still have nice meals, meet people, engage with the culture. And it's not like you're just in the mountains. You're in the mountains, but there's something going on. You're still amongst people.
Yeah, but it sure looks like Josh is hiking on his own.
Yeah, poor Josh. All by himself out there.
Yeah, here's another shot of Josh walking towards the camera. Here's a shot of Josh walking away from the camera.
Yep.
Tim's probably still way ahead of you guys.
Yeah.
Right? Because he'd always take off before you, and then, or at the same time, and he'd book it out of there. Right?
Yep. This is the morning after we stayed in that small hotel. That's the town of Thorongfetti. And here on the left is Annapurna IV and Gangapurna on the right.
Annapurna III being slightly higher than Annapurna IV.
Yes.
But
That's
not as high
Chulu.
as 2 or 1. That's Chulu?
Uh-huh.
That's a beautiful shot. Josh, had you started recovering by this point? Were you starting to put a little bit more muscle mass back on?
We try to, but we're getting ready to go over a pretty high mountain pass. So once you start to go downhill after that, it's a lot better.
Ah, I see, yeah.
I think exploring this little valley would be cool.
So do you guys have aspirations to return to that area?
I don't really right now.
Heard some crickets. Like
Yeah.
Bueller?
I mean, not really.
Not real fast.
I've been in that region 3 times now.
Sorry, Josh, you got cut off there.
Oh, whatever. I don't remember what I was saying. This is heading up towards the pass itself, and the only way I'd go back is my wife had shown interest in possibly trying to mountain bike the Annapurna circuit, but now that the road's going in, I don't think it's really worth it. And it's a really gnarly terrain to be able to mountain bike, and it's one of those ones that you got to carry a lot of spare parts. Because you know something's going to break over all this terrain.
Yeah, absolutely.
Be a lot of pushing the bike up this section of it, for instance.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can definitely tell you guys are staying up high because you're above the tree line again.
It's gonna be a nice shot, huh?
I hope so.
Yeah.
It's my 3rd time up here.
Wow.
And I've seen, the first time was the best. It was the easiest and the best. And then the last 2 times have been marginal.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. We did have a good view that first time.
Clarksville, Tennessee. I live in Telluride, Colorado.
Wow. Crested Butte.
Sick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's a
some
small
Crested
world.
Butters. All right.
Yeah, so Ben, the first time you were in that area, that general region, you were 22 years old.
Yeah.
That was for
22
Dalagiri.
years old. Yep. I've been to Muktanov too many times. For somebody that doesn't live in Nepal or India.
This is the top of the pass. And it's down in the background. We were definitely psyched to make it there. So it's a long haul to head up there and make it up to that elevation, especially for some of these folks. We had already acclimatized. It wasn't as bad for us, so we sort of, I don't know.
Well, we acclimatized for this by going to Annapurna IV.
Right. It's a pretty expensive way to acclimatize, to hike over a pass you can
Best
trek
way
up.
to do it. I was beat when we summited the pass.
So when the Annapurna circuit is trekked, it's usually trekked in the same direction that you guys were doing it, so the pass comes at the end?
Yeah.
Okay. So you have about, what, week, 10 days of trekking before you get to the pass? If you do a full
usually.
circuit, yeah. Congratulations, top success.
A lot of people do acclimatize for this, on the way in, and then they take some days before they try to climb up and over it. And we, before we headed up, there was a couple that we ran into, and the day that we were going up to go up and over it was going to be their 3rd try. And if they didn't succeed, they were going to head out and have to take out the other way, the long way, and not actually finish the circuit itself.
So if you want to finish the circuit, it's mandatory to get over that pass.
Yep. But, I technically think you've been on the circuit and you've seen, kind of this point, you have to go back the whole way. You've seen the Annapurna circuit just because it's a lot of work to get into that pass itself.
Yeah, it is.
The way, after you make it over the pass, it's a lot shorter that way out than it would be turning around and doing it all over again.
Yeah, no kidding. So was that
This
Tim?
is
Was that Tim?
Yeah.
Shot the mystery man.
Yeah.
This is my 4th time in Muktanov. That little town up there.
It's pretty cool though. It's really, really green. It's really amazing.
Yeah, it is.
Just love all the terraces. It's beautiful. Yeah, it still looks like you're really high up there.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's just so dry on this side. The excuse me. The culture of Mustang is over the top of this village.
Oh,
And
say
in the
that
back of
say
the
that Ben again, Ben. You broke up there. The culture.
Mustang. There's a country called Mustang or Mustang, and that was off to the right of that little town down in that valley. And they say it's more Tibetan than Tibet anymore. And so this whole area is pretty arid and dry.
Yeah, I was going to say that earlier, that it does look very much like Tibet up there.
Mm-hmm.
And some of the architecture as well looked like it was...
Yeah, doesn't it?
Yeah, starting to turn a little bit more Tibetan. Really is just amazing how dramatic the different terrains can be within just the same ranges. It's really amazing. So what's going on here?
Well, the year before, we had seen the first Jeeps ever arrive in Muktanov, and then a road is now up. I mean, people are taking a road up and down from Muktanov all the time to get to the town of Jomsom. So conceptually, you could drive to the town of Manang, hike to Thorung Fedi in a day, and then go over the Annapurna circuit and be in Jomsom the next night, which would cover a lot of ground. This is the town of Jarkot.
Yeah, that looks Tibetan. It really
Doesn't
looks
it?
Tibetan. All the whitewashed buildings all made of sort of like adobe.
Mm-hmm.
And of course the red. Yeah, it really looks Tibetan. And this technically it's all the peoples are all they're all the same peoples. They just are separated by political lines now.
Yep.
So you guys weren't carrying your packs on your heads? That's what you gotta do.
It's easier, isn't it?
We do.
Yeah, try that for next year, guys.
This town is called Cogbeni. First time I was there, I was 22, and my stomach was about to explode while I was running in there. Here's another bridge.
That's a long one. Wow. That's a really long one.
Yeah.
Imagine being there in the springtime, like when that's really melting out there, spring that is. It's crazy.
That horse is pretty awesome.
I think I actually ended up taking a lot of the audio out of these sections because the wind was blowing so hard. You guys were really getting battered, and it was just blowing the mic out. And then you get to this little paradise area here. It's pretty amazing. Drastic difference.
Did you stay here, John?
No, I've never stayed there. This is back in Pokhara, yeah. And so, yeah, tell me about what you guys ended up doing here. We'll see some photos, but
world-class entertainer right there. World class. Yeah.
Nice. Rented some scooters.
Huh?
I love this shot of Tim. We went, and a friend of mine had just graduated from Thunderbird and got his MBA, and he was trying to figure out what he was going to do with his life, and he was like, meet me in Pokhara. So we meet Riggs in Pokhara, and he's like, we should get some motorcycles, which translated to, okay, I'm a wimp, I'm going to hop on a scooter. Tim hops on a scooter, too, gets a really awesome helmet. Yeah. And I don't think I've ever laughed as hard as I did that day. That's Riggs. He's pretending to be British with those dark socks.
Nice.
Yep.
I'm so surprised these pictures came out as well as they did. I was driving a motorcycle and taking these pictures at the same time. Thankfully, only mostly in the country here.
Yeah.
Don't ever try that one at home. Talking on the cell phone and driving the car is one thing. Riding a motorcycle and taking pictures with a digital camera is another story.
Especially in the streets of Pokhara, where similar to Kathmandu, where it's every man for themselves.
Totally.
That's
Third world country.
Commuting vehicle right there. You can easily get 7 or 8 people on a motorcycle if you balance them correctly.
Yep.
It really is amazing.
2 grains of rice, too. 50-pound bags.
Just amazing.
Yeah, we took a little ride up to this little sort of village, cottage town around this lake, fishing community, too. And there's some entertainers on the other side where we stopped to have some beverages.
Yeah, those instruments, I don't remember what they're called, but they sound really cool until you pick them up yourself, and then you can't play them at all. I don't know how those guys play them so well. It's incredible.
Years.
You have to say. You have skills on that thing. Nothing like theirs.
And so this is at the airport in Pokhara?
Uh-huh. Yep. Beautiful airport. Very modern. They have a scale. They have a ticket counter. They have a guy.
Bags right there.
Yep.
This is definitely the way to go back to Kathmandu is to fly, because in 2007, you guys might remember, Scott and I drove from Kathmandu to Pokhara and back, and it's only about 200 kilometers, but it takes like 10 hours.
Ugh. Yeah.
Great, like this. And I believe you put in the pictures of the holes in the glass.
Yeah, that's coming up in a second.
So it's like they look like bullet holes. These planes
There you
are
go.
not.
Nice.
Yeah, right there. It's aviator tape at least. They have them outside there. It looked like duct tape when I first looked at it. So I'm patching that hole. I'm in too much.
Nice.
How long a flight is it?
Probably a half hour.
Nice. So this must be you guys got back to the hotel in Kathmandu, and that was it.
That's it.
So we end on Tim there, but well, great. So that's the expedition. How many more days did you stick around? You were still there for a few days after getting back to Kathmandu, weren't you?
Like a couple.
Okay.
Just a couple.
I guess it was this year you stayed for a few more days.
Yes, this year we stayed for quite a few more days.
Right. Well, I sure am glad you guys were able to share this whole expedition. I know it was certainly wasn't an expedition about Everest, and some people might have been like, why is the rest of Everest showing a mountain besides Everest? But really wanted to keep everyone up, certainly up to date with you, Ben, and wanted to keep people getting to know you, Josh, and there's going to be a lot more content coming from you guys over the following years, and so it was really great to get to share all this with everyone, because people watch the show and they really kind of consider us part of their extended network of friends, and so it's nice to keep up on all these adventures and get to see a different part of Nepal, because Nepal, everyone's probably heard me say this so many times, there's so much more to the Himalayas than Everest. Everest is just a very small part of the whole greater region.
It's a big part of the Himalayas, Everest is. I mean, it's definitely, it's no joke. I mean, that thing draws people from all over the world. But if you have already seen those areas, or if you're looking to see something else, if you want to see how, where a smaller concentration of people interested in Everest might be, then there are trails leading out of every one of those towns in so many places in that region that will absolutely reveal an amazing culture and an even more, I think, impressionable landscape. I mean, just some beautiful, beautiful mountains all over the place. So, you know, I'm always psyched that so many people have been interested in the Everest stuff, but Everest was really there and just got me interested in all this other stuff. So it's cool to share that with people and I guess kind of undergo the same process.
Yeah. And I want to say that people please stay tuned to the end of this episode, because we're going to show some video that the guys shot on the 2009 expedition to Buruntse. And Ben shot that entire expedition again, and that was, as you might remember, that was Ben, Josh, and then the other Jon Miller.
Yes, new Jon Miller.
New Jon Miller. And so Ben's edited just a little teaser up just on that, kind of giving an overview on it. But you guys are going to be going back next year, 2010, to attempt Buruntse again.
Yep, that's the plan.
That is the plan.
So just didn't get enough the first time, and
there's plenty left.
and as I mentioned, I'll try to keep this brief. But there's a lot of content from Buruntse. There will be more content from Buruntse and some other projects that the guys will be trying to do around Buruntse. But there's enough material that we're going to try to launch another show, another entire podcast that will be dedicated to the expeditions that these guys are doing. It'll be breaking off and be separate from the rest of Everest, but there's just so much incredible mountaineering footage that's already shot and ready to be shown to people that it really makes sense to split it up apart into a whole other podcast. And
absolutely.
So we'll be following these guys in earnest and everything they do from here on out, but it's going to be in its own show, just with some promotional stuff thrown in the rest of Everest to remind people to subscribe to it. And as we have information about when that show is going to launch and what it'll be called and where to find it, certainly that will all be introduced into the feed here for the podcast for the rest of Everest. But the rest of Everest will obviously continue on as we show the 2009 material from Everest, and then I'm going back with another group, hopefully. I'm definitely going back in 2010, so shoot more stuff, but just makes sense to give these guys their own platform, because there really is so much material that they're going to be generating. Yeah, so
and it's fun. It'll be a little different. I mean, I'm starting to cut through all the footage, and I hope you guys enjoy the teaser. I mean, it makes a few people I've shown it to are interested in seeing a little more, and I hope that'll translate over to everyone that's been watching the rest of Everest. And you know, Buruntse and the remoteness of it were, I mean, truly amazing. And if you have been following this whole series and you think, oh, you know, there's not enough climbing footage, or oh, there's not enough cultural footage, or whatever, feel free to let us know what you want, because we host everything. I think I shot everything that happened almost when it comes down to just trying to document it. And we really got deep into the culture of Nepal. And then we got so deep into the Himalayas, into some of the most amazing landscapes. So as you see this little piece, you know, you'll see some of that. And I hope that you'll want to see some more, because we're psyched to share it.
Awesome. I can't wait to get going with that stuff. Certainly hope we're able to get it launched in the very near future. But what I want to say at the end here is that, you know, you don't have to just watch all this stuff. If you're interested in getting into mountaineering, I know a lot of people have emailed me. I really have to, you know, promote Josh, because if you want to learn how to do this stuff, if you want to get going, if you're a beginner, you want to learn, you know, some mountaineering techniques and some climbing techniques and just basic safety in the mountains, a good place to start is to give Josh a call and check out his guiding service and the field school and everything, because
he's got your back.
Because he's a professional, and he does teach, and he's a real expert in all of this. And so, you know, you've heard me say it, TellYourRideAdventures.com. And Josh, you've actually trained some people in the audience who've contacted you.
There's actually been some people that contacted me directly from watching these podcasts and made the trip to Telluride to meet up and go out with me to learn some of these techniques. And they made their vacation for the summer around coming out to see me, to be able to climb with me and learn some of these techniques, to be able to, build upon those, to be able to go into the Himalayas later on in their life. And these people, they're a little bit later in their lives, and they just decided they wanted to climb mountains all of a sudden. And it's great.
That's cool.
Chuck, I think he was just saying you're old. No, I'm just kidding.
mature professionals for approaching God.
But no,
when the time this launches, I'm gonna turn the big 31. So I'm getting old myself, I guess, too.
One thing I was gonna say though is that the San Juan Mountains, which is the classroom that Josh teaches in, they're some of the most beautiful mountains in the world. And having seen a lot of mountains in the world, I can really say that the area around Telluride is just incredibly gorgeous, and the variety of the terrain is staggering. It's just really a beautiful area. So
it's incredible.
Really, people consider coming out to Telluride to have Josh teach you a workshop, a few days a week, whatever. Really,
come to Telluride. I'm with Josh. This is good advice. John knows what he's talking about, and I think you should try it out if you're interested in getting into mountaineering. I'm too old and crusty at 30 to teach anybody how to do anything right. So you're better off to learn from Josh.
But you do want to stay up to date on what Ben's doing, and the best way to keep up on everything that's going on with Ben is to just keep
focus on shooting photographs and shooting video.
Well, go to skithehimalayas.com, because that's his blog, and I'm going to get him blogging every day soon. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it, Ben.
I'm going to talk about when I wipe my chin with a napkin, and then when I wake up in the morning and my 11-pound dog barks at me.
See, that's what Twitter's for. We got to get you set up with an account. We'll get you doing all this stuff. The Web 2.0, the social media from the mountains. It's going to happen. So
totally.
Well, cool, guys. Thanks so much. Really have enjoyed watching all this footage. It was a new experience for me. Since I wasn't part of this expedition, and it really showed me that we can continue to produce good content in this format, even if not everyone was actually there. I think it worked out really well, and
cool.
Certainly appreciate all your generous time over the past few months getting all these recorded. So look forward to many more episodes with you guys.
You got it, John. You folks enjoy that teaser. Check out Ski the Himalayas. It's a cool video.
All right, guys. Well, we will see you next time we do an episode with you guys. Take care.
Later.
Sounds good. Bye.
The Rest of Everest is downloaded all over the world every day, and watching the show has become a part of many people's weekly routine. The show will always be free to download, but it's by no means free to produce. Please help me cover my costs by making a small monthly or one-time donation from the right sidebar on my website, and in return I'll give you some cool bonus materials. A donation of any amount will grant you access to some interesting video content, including high-definition versions of several podcast episodes, a one-time donation of $25 or more, or any of the monthly donation options will additionally grant you access to a downloadable version of the film Everest the Other Side, which episodes 1 to 61 are based on. I really cannot express how vital these donations are, and if you've made a donation, thank you so much. As always, our announcer is Marlon May, and our music is provided by Wendy Wu. Check her out at wendywoo.com. Thanks so much, everyone, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you for watching The Rest of Everest. For more information on the expedition, please visit therestofeverest.com.
I like to travel to really remote and adventurous places. Because we're always going where no one's ever gone, sometimes it gets a little confusing for me and my partners.
We seem to know what we're doing and where we're going now, sort of.
We love Nepal because the culture of this landscape is always so welcoming.
Technology goes a long way here in Nepal.
Namaste.
Namaste.
But eventually, the pace settles down and we get sucked into the environment.
Yeah, this is what is this, day 6 or day 7? Day 6 of the hike.
The whole point is to get to the high mountains of the Himalaya. Boy, do we enjoy the games we play as people and as climbers. I'm Ben Clark, and exploring in the high Himalaya with my partners Josh Butson and Jon Miller is what I do.
Like to have somebody else take the lead.
That'll be me.
Had one of our tent poles snap.
We just need a break in the weather, and we are clearly not getting it yet. Any comments to add to that, Jon Miller?
It'd be nice to get moving. Definitely done with hanging around in a tent that you can't get out of.
You see that? You see that?
That's 2,000 feet straight down. You can't see that.
This is blowing, so we can't ventilate a whole lot. But, you know, you gotta do what you gotta do, because it's like water, air, water, air.
Man, life's gonna resume to normal. We're gonna probably climb this mountain. And Dreadlock Jon Miller will be there. Oh, yeah.
After 5 nights in the tent, the adventure was just beginning for us.
Like, this might be the last lucid thing I'm gonna say for a little while. And I was like, Josh, I can't feel my hand, and I can't feel my lips. And I've never been so scared in my life when I said that.